We only have three caps. Welcome back to the Fantasy Football Formula. This is Week 11, Thursday Night Football Showdown slate. We're going to be going through our favorite captain plays tonight and kind of give you some unique builds so you're not duplicating a million lineups with other people. So you have a chance, and this is purely from a tournament perspective, not so much like the cash games, just playing like the best plays. We're trying to get a little bit different. This slate's interesting because of Randall Cobb.
Yeah, he is the one key factor here because usually with those $200 plays, you're just hoping for like one or two catches for 20 yards. He's a player that can get 5 to 6 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
So they did release Amari Rogers from the team, and
I think
they
Sammy Watkins is the guy who's going to take a biggest hit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I don't think Aaron Rodgers likes Sammy Watkins at all. So yeah, let's just jump right into it.
So, what are your favorite three captains tonight?
Okay, so I texted you earlier that Aaron Rodgers and Lazard were my two favorite, and I was thinking about one more.
Yeah, I have
money,
three, and those are two of them.
yeah. Aaron Jones is actually going to be my third favorite pivot play at captain. I think he's
I
gonna
don't
be
think I don't know necessarily he's going to pivot. I think he's going to be very popular.
I think he comes in at like 16% captain, maybe 20.
That's popular. That's popular for Showdown.
What do you think Derrick Henry's gonna come in at captain?
He'll be the highest owned, probably around 20, a little over 20%,
I
maybe.
think he goes
I
higher
think
than that.
Aaron Jones is going to be one of the top three highest owned captains.
Well, I will go into the reason why I think he's a great captain play.
So I'm not on Aaron Jones, so I'm interested to see like what type of build you have with him. But Derrick Henry was my third. Like I'm not letting him beat me tonight. Like I just think the Packers have a horrible run defense. They're a complete run funnel, and that's all the Titans want to do.
Mhm.
So to me, it's Lazard, Rodgers, and Henry are my three captains. Um, so yeah, I guess we can start with the two we like,
Yeah,
Rodgers and Lazard.
we'll start with
And
Rodgers first.
then we could do then Aaron Jones and Henry.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're playing Rodgers captain, I think so you need at least two pass catchers, even up to I would say even up to
3.
four with Cobb. I think you can do four because he's so cheap. But yeah, I mean I would say between 2 and 4, 100% if you're playing Rodgers captain.
Yeah.
So we like Lazard obviously.
Yep.
Um, what running back do you want to play on this team? Because you can consider Aaron Jones a pass catcher because I like the Titans don't really allow it on the ground that much, but they do give it up to running backs in the passing game. And obviously, Rodgers still likes to throw it to Jones. It's one of his favorite targets. So, like, you can consider Jones a pass catcher because there's games when he has 10 targets.
Yeah. No, you definitely can. My issue with Aaron Jones, not issue, but with Cobb coming back, Cobb doesn't run deep routes. He runs.
Yeah, yeah. I know what
He
you
will.
mean.
He'll eat up some of that.
But do you want Cobb in this one?
I think you. I almost think you have to put Cobb in almost every lineup just for
Yeah,
what.
I'm like I rarely don't like the chalky like $200 plays, and like even though I think Randall Cobb is probably pretty washed, it's like Roger still likes him, and he's just so cheap
Mhm.
that unfortunately I'm gonna be playing quite a bit of Cobb, but we need to figure out. I think this might be a slate. Typically, I'll get a low owned play in, and we could still find that. But I think this is a slate where you could leave more salary rather than just play a low owned guy.
Well, yeah, because a lot of people, what they're going to do, they're like, "Oh, I can play Cobb. That means I can play literally every
Yeah,
single high owned player or chalky
right.
player." And that's not what you want to do. You want to find something a little bit different.
So do we? So we have Lazard, Cobb.
I think. I
What
mean,
run we want? As I always say, I think running back like nearly always there's at least one running back
yeah,
in a winning lineup, and so you want to put Henry in this
yeah.
one?
I not. I'm just because I'm not playing Henry at my captain spots. I think he's going to be in like 75% of my lineups for um
In the flex.
in the flex, and that's you being a little bit different. I mean, um, I still think most people
Here's what I think. I think Henry's going to be close to 90% owned. I
Yeah.
think he'll be between 20 to 25% owned in the captain, and he'll be like 65, 70% owned in the flex. That's what I think is going to happen.
All right. I think he can go higher as the captain. But anyways, so we have $14,000 remaining here. It's a
Right now, as you can see, this four is not unique. Tons of people are playing Cobb.
Yeah.
Everyone's playing Henry. People are playing Rogers and then the captain and Lazard. So we have two spots left to either get different or just leave some salary. So are we playing a third Packer?
I think you play a third. I think it's a third Packer, and then with an option from the either because the weather in Green Bay today is going to be, I think, like 35, snow flurries,
Yeah.
gusts of 18 to 20. So I'm not ruling out kickers in this, but I think I'm more leaning towards with a over under of 41, I believe, more leaning towards defenses. But let's leave defenses out of this lineup and let's do another pass catcher.
So who do you like?
I like Burks at 5,800 or
Yeah.
5,200. I think, you know,
I like him more than Woods.
oh yeah, dude, Woods coming off the ACL injury, he has not looked the same at all.
I just wonder if I knew who Jari Alexander was going to see the most of. I just want the other guy. So I'm definitely playing both Woods and Burks. But if I'm making like my one main lineup, I think I'm prioritizing Burks
Yes,
just
yeah.
because he'll get some like runs sometimes too, where like we're on the goal line and they'll just throw it to him on like a
Mhm.
pitch and he scores.
So this is where it gets interesting. For pass catchers left, you have Watson and you have Tunyon and you have Watkins. I think Xing out Watkins from 99.9% of my lineups.
Yeah.
I think he takes a step back. I was reading something today that routes run last week. I think he only ran 8 routes.
Yeah,
Um,
it's bad. It's like Watkins might like get one try, like one shot a game. You just better hope he scores on that shot
yeah,
because that's the only chance he's gonna hit an optimal.
yeah.
And I guess
So
he'll be low owned, and I get it. Like he can hit on one play, he's that type of guy, but I just don't know what to bet on that.
yeah. So I still think we need one more Packers receiving option. I like Tunyon.
Yeah.
And Watson. The thing with Watson
You
is,
can't play Watson in this lineup. It would be way too high owned. Yeah, you're leaving 1,400, but like you think you have like that leaves 3K. You could even get crazy and like get real unique. And who's to say like Tanyan hasn't like had some I think the most points he scored all year is 10 points or something. If you played DeGuera at 1,800 and you left like 8,000, you will probably be the only guy possibly with that lineup.
yeah. I mean, it's not like he went 5. I think this game was Tunyon out this game.
No, I don't think he might have been playing that game.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he. So like the one game. No, he what?
Yeah,
No,
he played that game.
no. He did. Did he?
Yeah, he's yeah, he
Yeah.
played.
Okay. So yeah. So there's another option that you could throw in there that is definitely different. I think this is.
But like, yeah, take Tanyan out, put DeGuera, and look at that. Or Mercedes Lewis. Look how much salary you leave.
I'm not playing
Like
Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah, DeGuera is better than Mercedes Lewis. You probably shouldn't play Mercedes Lewis. But
Mercedes Lewis has caught like one, maybe 2 passes
yeah,
all.
he's 38 years old. He blocks. But,
Yeah.
DeGuera is the better option, especially if you have 7K left over. Just play DeGuera over Mercedes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a unique lineup right there. You play this in like a large field tournament.
Yep. Yep. All right. So let's go to Henry as the captain here.
Let's
Obviously.
do Lazard because we both
Okay.
like Lazard.
Okay. We'll do Lazard.
Lazard, so we're playing Lazard, Rogers.
Oops. I'm at
Um,
Rogers.
yeah, I'm going Packers heavy. I think the Packers beat the Titans. I'm not playing contrarian because the way to get different is you could just play like a 4-2 Titans build or something, and that you could get different that way. But I don't
There's
see
not,
Tannehill. I don't see Tannehill throwing on this Packers team. I just think the
I mean,
Packers take their business.
he did throw 38 times 35 times last week against the Broncos. But I mean, that is pretty rare for him to get that high.
especially when the Packers are a run funnel defense.
Yeah, and the fact is the Titans only scored 17 points. So like the 4-2 Titans to Green Bay, that is asking a lot that's a lot of mouths to feed for the Titans. I mean, yes, you can play a defense and but that's still like you're expecting the Titans to get to like I mean have crazy offensive stats, and I just don't think they get there. So Lazard, Rogers, I think you had to just lock Derrick Henry into the lineup just because he's the only option
Like,
there.
yeah, and also think about this from like there has to be you have to play a guy from one team, and like the guy most likely to score the most points on the Titans is Derrick Henry. Like these other guys could literally like Robert Woods, Burks, Tano, they could all score like right around 10. Like you need the highest scoring Titan in your lineup because like if you play 5 Packers, you're still going to need whoever went off on the Titans.
Yep.
And Henry's easily the one that's most likely to do that.
Yep.
There's not that many other great options beside him either.
No, there is not.
Okay, so who else do you want to put in this one?
I would love to put Aaron Jones in here.
Yeah, we could try this one with Jones. Now, Lazard will be lower. He won't be like super low. He'll be under 10% owned in the
Yeah.
captain, most likely. But you're still like Rogers, Henry, Jones. You're not getting different. So we have 3,900 left.
Yeah. So
What do you think here?
so the
Cobb, if you put him in like again, then you have 3,700 left, and you better be playing a weird guy in this last spot or playing like Mercedes Lewis or something. Like you have to play a weird guy or leave salary, but there's only 3,700, so you can't even really leave that much salary.
you know what? So Dontrell Hilliard played 26 snaps, I believe, last week. Granted, he didn't do a lot with this.
I don't think he's unique enough in this lineup.
You don't think so?
No, you're only leaving 500.
I know, but you're playing 2 Titans running backs with each other.
People
And
are going to do that.
I don't know because then
I'm just saying in this particular lineup, someone that plays Lazard, Rogers, Henry, and Jones, which plenty of people are going to do that. Then they're going to play Cobb. Like there's going to be tons of people that fill that last spot with Hilliard thinking they're getting different. I think to get different, you need to play like Toure, Mercedes Lewis, like Jeff Swaim, like someone like that.
I would probably play
Degura.
Man, I don't think Chig is different. I mean,
I am not playing him tonight. Packers are pretty solid against tight ends, and he doesn't really run that many routes at all.
I'd rather if I was playing a Titan side end, I'd rather play Austin Hooper, and that's pretty different. I don't think Austin Hooper is going to get any ownership, but that's
Probably
just me.
So like that's why this line. That's why personally I'm fading Aaron Jones tonight. That's my stand on this slate overall. Like my biggest fade is a guy like Aaron Jones. I just
the thing is though,
it could easily burn me, but
the thing is when the Packers win, Aaron Jones has a good game.
Typically, yeah.
No, I mean it's if you go back and look, like when they win, he's putting up numbers.
Yeah,
2,400.
I'm just banking. I'm playing a little bit of Dylan, so I'm just hoping this is a game where they might Dylan vultures like one, and that takes his ceiling down.
Lost, had a terrible game. Buffalo had a great game. Lost.
I mean, I get it. It's the stand for sure, and
I know.
live and die on that hill. But
so I guess for this, okay. So if all right, let's take Aaron Jones out just for the sake of it. Are you playing any Tannehill?
no,
No Tannehill. Okay.
So
would
you
you go
play
Robert
Woods in this lineup over Burks, and then
Woods?
you have 8,100 left. Again, you could play Crosby in this lineup and leave 4,100. Like this is like the type of stuff kind of like that I'm doing to get a little bit different. I think for me, this is more of leaving salary and fading Jones. That's how I'm getting different today.
Okay. All right.
So now we could do your Aaron Jones.
Okay. So Aaron Jones, I will play Henry with this, and I will play Rogers.
Okay.
So now it becomes down to this point between picking Lazard or Watson. Because
I'm personally, this is how I think it's going to happen. I think if you're playing like the 50-cent tournament where it's like 100 and something thousand people to first, and you're just like sprinkling lineups in there, or like the $15 500K to first, people are just putting lottery tickets in that. People are going to play Watson over Lazard because of that recent performance. That's just how like casual watchers are just
Yeah,
they're gonna look at game logs and see that. I think in higher dollar tournaments like the $100 spy, the $200 spy, whatever, I think Lazard will be more popular because people are sharper in those tournaments and they know that Lazard's still probably the number one guy. So that's how you can get your leverage. I think in the larger field stuff, you play
what?
Lazard, and in the
Yeah.
smaller stuff, you play Watson.
So the thing with my one thing about Watson is if I'm going to play him, I'm going to want to play him as a captain. And the only reason for that is because if he goes for
Yeah,
he got four targets last week of over 20 yards. So if you're banking on him catching two of those for a touchdown, he's most likely going to win you the tournament as the captain. So
right. He's not going to be the flex
he's
unless like
not.
Rodgers is throwing like 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So okay. So we'll go Watson here just for the sake of the argument.
so again,
Then
right now you're not unique at all.
no.
Four guys. If you play Cobb in this, definitely not unique. Um,
Okay. So yeah. Okay. Um.
so how are you getting different with this Jones lineup?
All right. I'm taking him out. I'm gonna go down to Robert Tunyon, and I'm gonna grab Traylon Burks, and then I'm gonna put in Cobb.
Okay. Oh, like zero salary.
Yeah.
Oof.
So I guess you could pivot off of Burks and go off Burks and just go straight to the Green Bay defense here.
That's still gonna garner some ownership.
I mean, that's a full-on onslaught.
Yeah, people are gonna do onslaughts, but yeah, that's better. That's better than having Burks in there, I think, and leaving 1,400 for sure.
Yeah, you
That's
could
better.
also
I think that lineup is better in a smaller field tournament than a large field tournament. That's just my thoughts.
this one right here.
I think that lineup fits more. Like you won't have like as many duplicates or anything like that in like a smaller field tournament. I think in like the $15 tournament, that will still get duplicated.
Probably right. So okay, so let's go. Let's use your Derrick Henry one. What do you like?
Yeah.
Where are you going with this?
So I like Aaron Rodgers a ton. Um, I like Lazard and Watson, but again, if we're this is the $15 one, so I guess we could put Lazard in this one.
Yeah.
And then Woods or Burks. Like I'm just splitting it. Like I could just it's to me, either one of these guys could get there. Like
Okay, we'll do
I'm
Woods
not
for this
sold.
one.
I do like Crosby a decent amount
Okay.
because like if I'm fading Aaron Jones, right? Like I have to think, okay, well, what are ways he fails? And it's guys like Lazard getting points, scoring, and then Crosby hitting field goals and they're getting stopped. And that's a way Jones fails.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I have 2,800 left. I mean, I could play Cobb in this lineup because I did fade Aaron Jones, and I'm leaving 2,600 on the table. Or I could play DeGuera. I could play Mercedes Lewis. Like any one of those guys besides Cobb, obviously, is going to be low owned.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a build right there that for Derrick Henry captain. Because
Yeah.
Derrick Henry captain, you do have to get different. He's the most popular guy.
Yeah. Just for shits and giggles, let's just throw Watson in there. Just to
He's
see what
similar
you
to a
yeah.
Lazard build.
Yeah, it's Aaron Jones. No, not Aaron Jones, I meant Aaron Rodgers. Um you're gonna go in. Okay, so what if you don't play Henry? Okay, and you say,
Yeah, no. So that's. I mean, if you fade Henry tonight, you are going to be competing with like only 10% of people. So
yeah,
just
so
in a
throw Aaron,
$150,000 tournament or 150,000 field tournament, you're only now competing with 15,000 guys.
so I have two entries into the big tournament tonight, the $15 one. One of them will be without Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I think you want Aaron Jones if you're fading Henry.
Yeah. So okay. So we have Tannehill and we have Aaron Jones. So because you're gonna play Tannehill over
Yeah,
if not
and
playing.
you're going to want a pass catcher
Yeah.
probably.
So I like Traylon Burks.
Okay,
Leaves you 2,500 left.
you can
And
still get your boy Cobb.
you still play copier because again, you're
You're
being
leaving
different.
2,300 and fading Henry
Yeah.
and playing Tannehill, who I also think is going to be loaned.
Yeah. So this is something you get two you get the two quarterbacks in there, and it's It's definitely risky. I mean, if you're playing,
You
I think
could Galaxy brand if fading Henry is a lineup you play Hilliard. Like Tannehill throws a
that's what I'm
catch,
saying. Like if the Packers get out very quickly
or
and
he or Tannehill, like Hilliard's a little more of a pass catching guy, and Tannehill throws a touchdown to both Burks and Hilliard, or Woods and Hilliard,
so
or
you can't
something
even
like that.
you could get you can't even get up to anyone else if you play Hilliard there.
Oh, interesting. You
You
would
would
have
have
to
to
get Dylan.
yeah, you'd have to play AJ Dillon, which I
Could
think he's
happen. That now this right here is unique. I can tell you that Dylan, Tannehill, no Jones or Henry, leaving 3,900. This lineup is as contrarian as it gets and has a shot of taking it all down.
this is a lineup where Christian Watson is catching,
A touchdown
two
or two.
like 50-yard bombs,
Yeah.
and Aaron Rodgers is only looking his
Dylan's
way.
vulturing Jones,
Yeah,
and then Hilliard's vulturing Henry, and yeah, Tannehill's throwing for a few.
yeah. So that's what that looks like.
This is a little more high scoring game. That build right there.
Yeah, most definitely. If you're playing a defense, so if you're playing the Packers defense, which we both like more than the Titans defense, how many Titans players are you going to have in your
Max,
line?
probably a max of two.
So it look like
I mean, you could do up to three. I wouldn't play four, but you could do up to three if you're getting real different. Because like we saw in that Eagles game, like they just score on that last second and boom, even though it was a higher scoring game, like it's just all that matters is those defensive touchdowns.
yeah. So you're doing like something like this.
Rodgers.
You need one
Yeah,
more pass
and then
catcher.
yeah. So or kicker, you could even do like Packers and Crosby or something.
Well, you would need Packers, and Crosby.
That's for like a really low scoring game.
Yeah. So, stuff like that, again,
Yeah.
when you are building these lineups out, make sure you are talking to yourself like, okay, what is something I see happening, or how do I think the game's going to go? And it's a low over under tonight, 41. The weather is not the greatest. It's a cold night in Lambeau, so
Yep.
that usually favors running backs. Not always, but
Particularly Derrick Henry.
yeah, Derrick Henry for sure. So like I said, I'm gonna fade Derrick Henry. I mean, he'll probably be in like 50. No, he'll probably be like 75% of my lineups. But that's the way to win the tournament is if you get crazy enough and it hits. I mean, crazier things have happened. So, Henry could get 20, 22 carries, 86 yards, no touchdowns,
And a touchdown and still not be optimal.
and yeah, it's still not being the optimal. So, like I said, Aaron Jones, when the Packers win, usually has a good game. That's what I'm kind of basing off my lineups. I think the Packers blow the doors off the Titans tonight. And I think the Titans play from behind. So that's where I'm going to be leaning. I think this is also in most of your lineups, you should have a kicker. I will say Randy Bullock is out. So it's Josh Lambeau who just got picked up and elevated from the practice squad. I don't know enough about kicking if that changes the line or timing of things, but that's just something to think about. I trust Crosby more than I do Josh Lambeau. So I think that's it for tonight. Good luck. And we will see you later on for our regular scheduled program of DFS Showdown or DFS main slate. All right. Thank you guys. Like and subscribe.